Imagine a world where gods walked among mortals, warriors wielded magical weapons, and shadowy creatures lurked in the misty forests. This was ancient Ireland, a land of heroes, fae, and forgotten gods. From the legendary Tuatha Dé Danann, the mysterious banshees, and the heroic Cú Chulainn, Irish mythology is filled with stories of glory, magic, and tragedy. But are these just myths, or do they hide secrets of a long-lost past? Stay with us as we dive into the mystical world of Irish folklore and uncover the legends that shaped a nation, the origins, the Tuatha Dé Danann. Before Ireland was ruled by kings, it was said to be inhabited by powerful beings, the Tuatha Dé Danann. These godlike figures were masters of magic and war, descending from the skies in great mystical clouds. Some say they were gods, others believe they were an ancient, forgotten civilization. According to legend, the Tuatha Dé Danann arrived in Ireland on dark storm clouds covering the land in mist. Their name translates to the people of the goddess Danu, as they were said to be descendants of the mysterious goddess Danu, the mother of all Irish deities. They were unlike any other people who had come before them, possessing incredible knowledge, strength, and supernatural abilities. The four sacred treasures. The Tuatha Dé Danann were said to have brought with them four sacred relics, each possessing extraordinary power. The Stone of Destiny, Lia File, a mystical stone that would cry out when touched by the rightful High King of Ireland. It later became part of the coronation traditions of Irish rulers. The Spear of Luge, a divine weapon belonging to the warrior god Luge, said to make its wielder unstoppable in battle. It was so powerful that it had to be kept in a cauldron of blood to cool its energy. The Sword of Light, Cú Chulainn, a legendary blade that was said to cut through any enemy, glowing with an otherworldly light in battle. Some say it inspired later myths of Excalibur. The Cauldron of Dagda, a magical cauldron owned by the god Dagda, which was never empty and could revive the dead. War with the Fomorians. Although powerful, the Tuatha Dé Danann were not alone in Ireland. They soon encountered a race of monstrous beings known as the Fomorians, who were described as chaotic, deformed giants. Some legends depict them as demons of destruction, while others suggest they were an ancient warrior race that opposed the Tuatha Dé Danann's rule. The two sides clashed in a great battle at Mag Tuired, where the Tuatha Dé Danann emerged victorious, but their leader, Nuada, lost his arm in combat. Because the Irish believed their kings had to be physically perfect, Nuada was forced to step down. This led to the rise of Brez, a half-Fomorian ruler who oppressed the Tuatha Dé Danann and imposed harsh laws. However, the great warrior god Lug, a descendant of both races, eventually overthrew Brez and restored balance, leading to another fierce battle against the Fomorians. In the end, Lug slayed the monstrous Baelor, leader of the Fomorians, by hurling his magical spear into his single destructive eye. Defeat, and the fall into myth. For years, the Tuatha Dé Danann ruled Ireland, but their reign came to an end when the Milesians, ancestors of the modern Irish, arrived. After another great war, the Tuatha Dé Danann were defeated and forced to retreat. But rather than leaving Ireland, they disappeared into the otherworld, a mystical realm parallel to our own. Many believe they still exist today, hidden within the hollow hills, becoming the IOC, the mystical fairies, spirits, and supernatural beings of Irish folklore. Could the legends of elves, banshees, and other fae creatures be echoes of a lost civilization? Cú Chulainn, the Irish Hercules. Among the greatest heroes of Irish mythology stands Cú Chulainn, a warrior whose strength and bravery rivaled the likes of Achilles and Hercules. His story is one of courage, destiny, and tragic sacrifice. The boy named Setanta. Born as Setanta, he was the son of the god Lug, one of the most powerful deities of the Tuatha Dé Danann, and Daichtine, a mortal woman of the Ullaid Ulster kingdom. From childhood, he showed incredible strength and skill. As a young boy, Setanta set out to join the legendary warriors of King Conchobar mac Nessa, who ruled over Ulster. On his journey, he encountered a group of boys playing hurling, a traditional Irish sport. Despite being outnumbered, he defeated them all single-handedly, proving his unmatched ability. The name Cú Chulainn, the Hound of Cú Chulainn, One of the most famous stories about him tells how he earned the name Cú Chulainn. One day he was invited to a feast at the home of the blacksmith Cú Chulainn. However, he arrived late, and not knowing Setanta was still outside, Cú Chulainn released his massive guard dog, a beast so powerful that no man had ever bested it. Instead of fleeing, Setanta fought the beast head-on, using only his bare hands. In a single moment of brutal strength, he crushed the dog's skull, killing it instantly. But realizing he had slain the blacksmith's prized protector, the young warrior offered to take its place, guarding Cú Chulainn's home until a replacement could be found. From that day forward, he became known as Cú Chulainn, the Hound of Chulainn. The cattle raid of Cooley, his greatest battle. Cú Chulainn's most famous tale is found in the Tain Bo Cuailnge, the cattle raid of Cooley. In this epic, Queen Medb of Connacht, seeking to steal Ulster's prized bull, launched an invasion of the province. With Ulster's warriors weakened by a curse, Cú Chulainn stood alone against an entire army. Despite being vastly outnumbered, he used guerrilla tactics, ambushing Medb's forces and defeating warrior after warrior in single combat. His divine heritage gave him an advantage, but what truly made him terrifying was his ability to enter the Riastrad, or warp spasm. The warp spasm, a monstrous transformation. When enraged, Cú Chulainn would undergo a terrifying transformation. His muscles would twist and bulge unnaturally. One eye would sink into his skull while the other would expand. His hair would stand on end, each strand sharp as a needle. His entire body would glow with unearthly heat, and his blood boiled within him. In this state, he became unstoppable, cutting down warriors by the hundreds. He fought for months without rest, single-handedly holding off Medb's army, his tragic death betrayed by fate. Despite his immense power, Cú Chulainn was doomed to a tragic fate. His enemies, unable to defeat him in battle, tricked him using a prophecy. Bound by honor, he ate the flesh of a dog, breaking a sacred rule that drained his strength. Mortally wounded, he tied himself to a standing stone, refusing to die lying down. His enemies, terrified of his legendary might, did not approach until a raven landed on his shoulder, signaling that he was truly dead. Even in death, his legend endured. Today, Cú Chulainn remains Ireland's greatest warrior, a symbol of heroism, resilience, and sacrifice. The banshee, harbinger of death. Among the many eerie and mystical figures in Irish mythology, few inspire as much fear as the banshee. Known as the wailing spirit of death, she is said to appear before a person's passing, her chilling cry echoing through the night. But is she simply a ghost, or something far older and more powerful? Origins: a messenger from the other world. The word banshee comes from the Irish bean sea, meaning woman of the fairy mound. This connects her to the Aos Sea, the supernatural beings believed to be descendants of the Tuatha Dé Danann. Some say she is a spirit cursed to wander the mortal world, while others claim she is one of Ireland's forgotten goddesses, mourning the loss of the ancient Celtic way of life. What does the banshee look like? Legends describe her in different forms depending on the tale. She is often seen as a beautiful woman with long silver hair wearing a flowing white or gray cloak, a horrifying old hag with red eyes, sunken features, and a piercing scream, a shadowy figure that appears and vanishes in an instant, never fully seen. No matter her form, she is always a sign of impending death. The wailing cry, a warning of death. Perhaps the most terrifying part of the banshee myth is her piercing, sorrowful cry. Described as a sound like no other, her wail is said to be heard before the death of someone important or noble. Families of ancient Irish descent, such as the O'Neills, O'Connors, and O'Briens, were said to be particularly connected to the banshee, with stories of their ancestors hearing her before tragedy struck. Some tales say that the banshee does not cause death, she merely warns of it. Others suggest that those who see her face will die soon after, as if marked by fate itself. Theories. Is the banshee real? Many believe the banshee is simply a legend, a ghostly figure invented to explain sudden deaths. However, in some rural Irish villages, people still claim to hear the banshee's cry, especially before the passing of a loved one. Could she be a lingering spirit from Ireland's ancient past? A remnant of the Tuatha Dé Danann, mourning the loss of her people? Or is she something even darker? An entity tied to the very fabric of life and death itself? One thing is certain, when the banshee cries, death follows. Secrets of the Otherworld. Irish mythology is more than just a collection of stories. It's a window into an ancient past filled with forgotten knowledge, lost civilizations, and unexplained mysteries. Throughout the myths, one recurring theme stands out: the Otherworld. Described as a mystical realm parallel to our own, it is said to be the home of the Ausi, the descendants of the Tuatha Dé Danann, spirits and beings beyond human comprehension. Some believe the Otherworld is a paradise where time moves differently, while others think it is a realm of gods and ancestors, accessible only to those who know its secrets. Did the Tuatha Dé Danann really disappear? The Tuatha Dé Danann were said to have retreated into the Otherworld after their defeat by the Milesians, but could they have simply gone into hiding? Some historians speculate that the myth of their vanishing may hint at an ancient pre-Celtic civilization that once ruled Ireland before being driven underground, literally or metaphorically. Even today, Irish folklore warns of places where the veil between the worlds is thin. Ancient ring forts, stone circles, and burial mounds, many of which predate written history, are believed to be portals to the Otherworld. Legends claim that if you step inside a fairy ring at the wrong time, you might never return. Encounters with the Otherworld. Do they still happen? Stories persist in modern times of people encountering strange lights in the woods, mysterious figures disappearing into the mist, or even vanishing time, where a person loses hours or days without explanation. Could these be remnants of the ancient Tuatha Dé Danann still walking among us unseen? There are also eerie accounts of people suddenly stepping into another realm, finding themselves in places that don't exist on any map. Some claim that certain caves and forests in Ireland are doorways to the Otherworld, but only the chosen or the unlucky ever find them. Could the myths be true? Are these just age-old legends? Or is there something more to these stories? Could the Otherworld be a hidden dimension, a forgotten civilization, or even evidence of a lost history that we have yet to uncover? One thing is certain: the myths of Ireland still hold secrets waiting to be revealed. And perhaps the Otherworld is closer than we think. Stay with us as we continue exploring the mystical, forgotten, and mysterious legends of the world. Enjoying the journey through history? Make sure to hit that subscribe button and join our community of history enthusiasts. Don't forget to leave a comment below. Tell us what you think, share your favorite historical insights, or suggest a topic you'd love to see us explore. And if you know someone who would love diving into the past, share this video with them. Let's uncover history together.